Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Wednesday. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we're going to switch up things a little bit on the channel, still keeping it football related. However, we're going to be talking about the NFL, not college. To be more specific, you know who we're going to talk about? The man, the myth, the legend himself, Shedeur Sanders. Everybody clap it up. Clap it up. Give him a nice round of applause. We're not doing no intro, none of that. I don't got time to waste. You don't got time to waste either. This is the one and only topic we're going to be discussing. Do want to throw in there? We are on the push, on the road for 400,000 subscribers. And as you can see right here, we are less than 12,000 away. So if you're new to our channel, you like college football, NFL, just sports content in general, consider subscribing and helping us get a little bit closer. It'd be greatly appreciated. And plus, we'd love for you to be a part of our amazing community. Major shout out to everybody that has already subscribed, but let's lock in, let's get down to business and talk about Shedeur. Some would say this video is overdue. I don't blame you. This has been one of the most highly requested videos on the channel. I've had people asking us to talk about him for weeks now. Just haven't gotten around to it due to all the chaos and controversies going on in the college football world. However, with the playoffs already being locked in, and we're not going to have any meaningful games to preview or talk about for quite some while, it seems like all the coaches, they found a new place. I figure this is the perfect time to speak on this. Now that I think about it, when was the last time we even talked about Shedeur on the channel? It's been a long time. Obviously, we talked about him leading up into the draft and him falling in the draft, which I disagree with. And I think the last time we spoke about him was in the offseason when he was battling for the QB2, QB3 spot with Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and who was that? Oh yeah, Kenny Pickett. Man, time flies, but here we are. There's a lot to catch up on, but I'm going to try to give you a long story short. This is the quickest and greatest summary I can give you. Kenny Pickett gets traded. Dylan Gabriel takes over as a starter, so now Shedeur Sanders has immediately went from QB4, barely getting any reps, to QB2. Gabriel gets hurt, bada bing, bada boom, here we are. Shedeur Sanders, he is QB1, and he is lighting it up. It all happened so fast, and I'm not going to lie, it is crazy to me that Shedeur Sanders is even starting for the Browns when you consider where things were only a few months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't harp on this enough. He was QB4 in the offseason. QB4. That means 3 guys would have had to either get, and you pray this doesn't happen, hurt or traded for him to even get a chance to start. There's guys in the NFL who have been a backup quarterback for 5+ years who have never gotten the opportunity to start, and they never went over the job just due to the guy in front of them never gets hurt. And that's great. We don't like injuries. But if you're the backup quarterback, I'm not going to say you're rooting for the starter to get hurt. It's more so of you just want a chance. And unfortunately, in the NFL, the way to get a chance is the guy in front of you goes down. But you also got to be prepared for that opportunity. Some guys get that chance to start and they're not prepared. But you know who's been prepared? You know who's been making the most out of their opportunities? Shedeur Sanders. He has played in 4 games this year up until this point, and he got off to an atrocious start against the Baltimore Ravens. He went 4 for 16. That is a 25 completion percentage. Yikes. 47 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 INT. It was pitiful. But then the following week against the Raiders, it got a little bit better. I'm not going to say a lot of it, but a little bit. 11 for 20. That's improvement. 209 passing yards. You'll take that. 1 touchdown, 1 INT. So we're sitting here going, oh, okay. You know, that's not too bad, not too bad. Most importantly, they got the win. The week after that against the San Francisco 49ers. The team didn't do so good, but Shedeur Sanders, I wouldn't say he was awful. The Browns couldn't move the ball, so these numbers are kind of deceiving if you could ask me, but he was 16 for 25. That's not bad. Had 150 passing yards. Not great, but like we said, not bad. 1 touchdown, 0 INT. So he took care of the football in the passing game. By that point in time, let me give you some perspective. I was looking at all of his performances. I'm going, I mean, he's all right. If you got to ask me, he's not playing like a starter. He's playing like a backup quarterback. He's managing the game. But in this most recent weekend against the Tennessee Titans, look, I know the Titans, they suck. I think they just got their 2nd win of the year, by the way. Browns did lose this game. Shedeur Sanders, I don't want to say he went off. Actually, no, I think we can say that. He went off. 23 for 42. Not the greatest completion percentage you ever see, but you'll take it. 300. Let me say that again, Timothy and Bobby. 364 passing yards. That's a lot in the NFL. This isn't college, guys. 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. And tell you what, the stats. Did you watch the game? The dude looked phenomenal. By the way, he had a rushing touchdown in that as well. So he had 4 total touchdowns, 1 interception. I thought he played great, considering it's his 3rd or 4th start in the league. After that performance, I had a ton of people tweeting at me saying, yo, Matt, you got to talk about Shedeur Sanders. When are you going to talk about Shedeur Sanders? I think I saw 3 tweets yesterday where I was mentioning him saying, when is Matt going to talk about Shedeur? Why is he not talking about this? Yet again, a little warning and disclaimer. It's because, guys, it's the midst of college football season. I don't need to explain myself too much, but if you know, you know. We're covering college football nonstop. We're posting 3 or 4 videos a day. There's only so much I can do, but with college football quieting down just a tad bit before we get into the playoffs, it's time to speak on this. First things first, I don't want anybody to act like I'm jumping on the Shedeur Sanders hype train because I told you heading into the draft, I would have taken him with my first round pick if I was the New Orleans Saints. In other terms, to dumb this down, Timothy and Bobby, I stated on the channel, it's documented. That's a beautiful thing. You can't say, oh, well, you're just jumping on the hype train. No. It is documented on the channel. Go watch the video. I have stated that Shedeur Sanders should have went in the first round, and I thought he was one of the most talented quarterbacks in this most recent draft class. I thought it was an utter disgrace with him falling as far as he did. But I know why he fell as far as he did, because they're trying to make an example out of him. We all know this. It's not even up for debate, and to be quite honest with you, I knew once he didn't get selected in the first round or early second round, he was going to fall far. Because at that point in time, quarterbacks that get drafted in the second to fourth round, they're brought in as predominantly a backup quarterback. And the last thing all these NFL teams, franchises, and GMs wanted was Coach Prime and the entire Sanders family hovering over their head and all the fans saying, you got to put in Shedeur, you got to put in Shedeur, when they already had their franchise quarterback. We talked about this 6 months ago. These NFL GMs, they didn't want to be bullied by the Sanders family, and they didn't want all the drama that comes with it. And when I say drama, I don't mean that as a bad thing. It's just reality. Drama was going to come with it. Because you're going to have some nerd in the comment section say, what do you mean drama is going to come with the Shedeur Sanders family, Matt? Here's my rebuttal. What are you talking about? This is a known fact. We're talking about Deion Sanders. We're talking about primetime. And we're talking about his son. Drama's going to follow, for better or for worse. And I get it, I do. Teams didn't want all that with their backup quarterback or their third-string quarterback. You'll put up with it if it's a starter, but not a backup. Does he have a lot of moxie and swagger? Absolutely. But in these teams' eyes, it was way too much for a quarterback, or like I stated, a backup quarterback in this league. I'm on the record stating this as well, and this isn't to toot my own horn, it's just to tell you where I'm at on this, because not much has changed. Dylan Gabriel is not better than Shedeur Sanders. I've never understood people that have argued that. Shedeur Sanders is better than Gabriel. The only knock I've ever had on Shedeur, and it's still a knock I have on him, is he takes way too many sacks and he holds onto the ball way too long. He's got to get rid of it when there's nothing there. But on the grand scheme of things, when it comes to the quarterback position, that's such a minor problem. It's minuscule because you can work on that and he'll get better at it. You know why I think he'll get better at it? Because eventually he'll want to stop getting hit, and number two, he'll go, oh, wait a minute, this is the NFL. I just got to throw it away. When it comes to Shedeur on the field, guys, I don't want to overcomplicate things. As much as I love to talk, I mean, it's what we do here on the channel. If I can keep things short, simple, and sweet, that's what I strive to do. He's been good. That's all there is to it. Nothing more, nothing less. He's been good. He's been solid. If I had a greatest performance through, what's it been, 3 starts? He's played in 4 games, but 3 official starts. If I had a grade on a scale 1 to 10, I'd give him a 7. Heading into the Titans game, I'd give him a 5. But after that, I'd give him a hard 7. Saw this graphic, thought it was interesting. It's comparing Tom Brady's stats to Shedeur Sanders' stats through his first 3 career starts. And you can take a look at it for yourself, but just something for your train of thought. Do as you please with this information. Am I trying to sit up here and tell you that Shedeur Sanders is going to be better than the GOAT, Tom Brady? No, I didn't say that at all. I said do as you please with this information. On a serious note, I do want you to look at this because, let me remind you, this isn't college football. This is the NFL. Rookie quarterbacks tend to struggle and throw more interceptions than touchdowns. Didn't Peyton Manning set the record for most interceptions as a rookie quarterback? I think he had more interceptions than touchdowns that season. It wasn't too long ago when Trevor Lawrence was an interception machine in his rookie year. The only reason Trevor Lawrence got so much grace in his rookie season is because he was a number 1 overall pick. There's this weird propaganda where if you're the number 1 overall pick or even a first round pick, if you throw a bunch of interceptions, let's say for this video, you have 18 touchdowns to 20 interceptions. Like, I think Lawrence's stat line was something like that. Everybody goes, oh, yeah, well, he's a rookie. He'll pan out. It's okay. He'll get better in year 2 or year 3. However, if you're in Shedeur Sanders' situation and you're a 6th-round quarterback and you have the same stat line, 18 touchdowns to 20 interceptions, what does everybody say? I told you he was a bust. There's a reason he got drafted in the 6th round. Like, what? It's the weirdest thing ever, but that's how we look at it. And why do people look at it that way? Because everybody goes, well, he's a first-round pick for a reason. You got to give him some time. Well, what about the 6th-round guy? Give him some time. But no, everybody writes him off. Because why? And I know why. If y'all don't know why, money. Money runs the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm referring to, first-round quarterback is getting $30 million, so a team has way more skin in the game. However, a guy like Shedeur Sanders, they're only giving him $1 million, so they don't care to cut him. They don't care to bench him. They're not losing anything. They're not even worried about a return on their investment on a 6th-round quarterback, but they are worried about the return of investment on a first-round quarterback. And that's all it is. If you play awful as a 6th-rounder, you're probably going to get pulled after 1 or 2 games, and everybody's going to go, yep, that's why you're a 6th-round quarterback, buddy, because you stink. But if you're a number 1 overall pick, the mood switches, the attitude changes. Everybody goes, so what? He'll be better next year. I'll give you a great example. The entire season, Cam Ward has 9 touchdown passes to 7 interceptions. But who's going to get more grace if the stat line ends something like this at the regular season? You know who, Cam Ward. Really interesting dynamic there. Let me talk about this a little bit. It was announced a couple days ago that Shedeur Sanders, we will get a larger sample size with him because he's going to start the rest of the season, and I'm happy to see that. This is his shot. This is his opportunity to go out there, ball out, and prove why he should be a starter in this league, and that's all you can ask for. But here's the immediate question that comes to my mind. What are we going to do with Deshaun Watson? Because there's no way you're going to start over him next year. No way, even if you're better than him. A team will not pay a guy $40 million and sit him on the bench, even if you think Shedeur's better. It won't happen. It can't happen. And maybe this is all methodical. Shedeur balls out, and the Browns are using that as leverage, and they can trade him. I said this in the offseason. I'll continue to say it. Best case scenario for Shedeur Sanders is he balls out with the Browns, and they wind up using that as a leverage, and they trade him to somebody that wants him. Because if Shedeur does just halfway decent in the remainder of the games this year, there's going to be teams that are going to be interested in him. And the Browns are not going to get rid of Deshaun Watson, so that's going to be their starter next year, and they have Dillon Gabriel coming back. You could say if you're a player in general, but to narrow this down, if you're a quarterback, you just got to get away from the Brownies. That's where dreams go to die. You got to get away from the Browns. You got to. I don't even want to sit up here and say, well, maybe he can turn this shipwreck around. Nobody can. Browns are not going to be good the remainder of the year. However, I am rooting for Shedeur. I hope he balls out. Guess we'll have to wait and see. How many games does he got left? Let's pull up the schedule real quick. We got, what is it? 1, 2. Okay, we got 4 games left. The Bears, that'll be really interesting. I think it's supposed to be freezing cold there. The Bills, so you got 2 decent teams there to steal. Yeah, got a nice little 4-game gauntlet on his hands. I'm pretty intrigued to see what he can do with that. But yeah, Shedeur's been playing good. Hopefully he can keep it up and just pray for him that he can get traded next year. Any more things I could say? I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But